Hello students, welcome to my channel. My name is Cristina and today I have two special guests for you. We have Francisco once again and Mr. Bean.
Our version of Mr. Bean.
Yes, our version of Mr. Bean. Today we're going to be looking at, once again, differences between American, British, and Canadian English. But today we're going to be focusing on food vocabulary. So, shall we begin?
Let's begin.
Let's begin. So our first word is going to be popsicle. At least in Canadian English, we say popsicle.
For us in American English, it's also popsicle.
Yes, and in British English?
Ice lolly.
Okay, so as you're going to see or you're going to notice in this video, American and Canadian English are both quite similar. At least when it comes to vocabulary, both are similar. I think where we more so differ would be in spelling. In spelling, we do have a lot more differences than when it comes to vocabulary. But British English, we're definitely
Totally different.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
totally different. Now, this image for me would be either takeout or takeaway. Growing up in Canada, we usually used, at least where I grew up, takeaway. But I have heard takeout many times, so I'm sure my Canadians would agree with me that both takeout and takeaway are common in Canada. What about in the States?
In the States, it's going to be takeout.
More so takeout,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
And in United Kingdom or British English?
Take away.
Okay, so as you can see, Canada kind of takes a little bit from the British side and the American side, takeaway and takeout. Okay, our next image. For me, this would be pop.
For me, it would be soda pop or soda.
Yes, and it's interesting because I was also researching this yesterday, and supposedly depending on what part of the States you come from, some people say soda pop, some people say soda, and some people even say pop, although it doesn't seem to be as common.
Soda.
Soda. And what about in British English?
Fizzy drink.
Okay.
Good to know.
And I think with the British it's the same too. Depending on who you ask, maybe others might give you a different answer, but fizzy drink is the most common, it seems. And for me, the next image would be potato chips.
For me, it would be potato chips too.
And in British English?
Crisps.
Yeah, when I think of crisps, I think of like crispy chips.
Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies. Now we have some French fries. And for short form, we could say fries, so French fries or fries.
French fries also.
Exactly. In that case, we're
The same.
similar. You'll see that for most of them, we're going to be similar. And in British English?
Chips.
Interesting. So they would call them chips. And when I think of chips, I think of the previous image, which were potato chips, short form for
Chips.
Chips. There you go. Now, the next image for me would be called a dessert.
For us, it's dessert too.
And in British English?
Pudding.
Interesting. So according, especially for the British, there is a difference between desserts and pudding. Although depending on the dessert, they can be very similar. But for them, supposedly a pudding could be sweet and also savory, whereas a dessert is always sweet.
And maybe more sophisticated also.
Yes, and a pudding also is something that is more homely, and a dessert would be something that is more sophisticated that you would find at a restaurant. Interesting, right?
Yes, very
Yeah,
good.
totally interesting. And our next image, for me, this would be called candy.
For us also, it's candy. Same.
And in British English?
Sweets.
Sweets. Kind of like a sweet person, no? You're sweet because you're nice and a good person, maybe. Sweet. Sweet like candy.
Could be.
Are you sweet like candy?
I'm not. I'm savory.
And our next word for me would be a cookie.
For us too, cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah.
And in British English?
Biscuit.
There you go. Biscuit.
Very different.
And our next image, for me, this would be called corn.
For us, it's also corn.
And in British English?
Maize.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, even though this is a strange word for me, I do have to say I've heard corn being mentioned in the UK also, so I bet both are used.
I'm sure that they're both common. Even when I did my research online, supposedly maize came up a few times. So I figured that would be the correct response. But I think it depends. It depends.
It depends, but corn is also used in the UK.
And it's interesting that they call it maize, because when I think of maize, since I'm also bilingual, I think of maíz, like corn.
Corn in Spanish.
So maize, maíz, pretty similar. And our next image is a delicious sweet called cotton candy.
Cotton candy also.
And in British English?
Candy floss.
Interesting. So when I think of candy floss, I think of literally taking a string of candy and
eating it.
Flossing.
Yes.
No, flossing my teeth,
Also,
like teeth floss.
yeah.
Flossing. And our next word is going to be eggplant.
Eggplant also in the States.
And
Aubergine.
okay, interesting.
Yes.
So this is another word that it changes completely. And I've heard many British people think that the American or Canadian equivalent is really hilarious.
Yes.
Because when you think about it, it does sound pretty funny, no? Eggplant?
They don't mix.
No. We agree with you, okay, British people? We agree. And our next image is a zucchini.
Zucchini also.
Courgette.
There you go.
Never heard that word.
No?
Never.
Yeah, I had never heard it before either. Because so now I'm living in Spain, right? And here in Spain, I do teach British English. So I've encountered these words and now I know them. But in Canada, I had never heard that word before.
No.
Beet.
Beet.
Beetroot.
Okay, so this one,
It's almost the same.
yeah, I have to say that this is the one that we have the most in common with, right?
And it does make sense also.
Of
Because
course.
it is a root. So.
Of course. And keep in mind also, I didn't mention this at the very beginning of the video, but obviously I chose the words where there would be at least one difference in, but we do have a lot of words in common that are the same
Most
in
of
every
them.
version of English.
Yes, most of them
Most of them are. But I chose specifically for this video the ones that would have at least one variation of. Okay, let's continue. Cupcake.
Cupcake.
Fairy cake.
Okay, so
Sounds so cute.
it sounds adorable, a fairy cake. So I have to say that I did some research, and supposedly, although they say that they're both the same because a fairy cake is like a cupcake for us, they do say that a fairy cake is smaller. And simpler too.
Yes.
So it's a lot more basic than a American or Canadian cupcake.
Cute version of a cupcake.
Yeah. Now we have arugula.
Arugula.
And in British English?
Rocket.
Okay. So I have to say that arugula comes from the Italian language, which is the word that we tend to use, and that rocket comes from the French language, which would be, I believe it would be pronounced roquette, but I'm sure I'm pronouncing it horribly. Regardless, it would come from the French language. Now we have jello.
Jello.
And?
Jelly.
All right. So when I think of jelly, I think of jam, which sometimes jam can also be called jelly.
Yep.
And it's the thing that you put on your toast with some butter or peanut butter. Now we have oatmeal.
Oatmeal for us in the States also.
Porridge.
Okay, so I have to say I did some more research, and oatmeal is always going to be made from oat groats, whereas porridge can be made from various other grains such as rice, wheat, and corn.
Any other grain. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a slight little difference, but I mean, they're still really similar, and they both can be made from oats. But the British call them more so, they call it porridge, and we call it
Oatmeal.
oatmeal. Now we have some French toast.
French toast also delicious, by the way.
Eggy bread.
All right, eggy bread sounds adorable, no?
Eggy bread, yeah.
Eggy bread. Well, technically, it is bread soaked in egg, so
It makes sense, but doesn't have anything to do with
Yeah.
what I imagine.
Eggy bread makes more sense than French toast,
It does.
considering that French toast doesn't come from France. No. But you can have it with Canadian maple syrup.
And French toast is always sweet.
Yes, French toast is always sweet, whereas eggy bread can be sweet or savory.
Yes.
And we have a baked potato.
Baked potato too.
Jacket potato.
I love that way that sounds. Jacket
Jacket
potato, no?
So legit.
Yeah, we put a jacket on the potato. So the reason why they call it a jacket potato is because the potato is baked in its jacket, and the jacket is
It's skin.
its skin. There you go. So it's baked in its skin. Jacket potato. And our final word is fish sticks.
Fish sticks.
Fish fingers.
Fish fingers.
Well, makes sense.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
They look
They
similar.
kind of look like fingers, no? And they kind of look like sticks. And this one, I think either one could go.
Yeah.
Either one could work. And I have a little surprise for you. We have a bonus word, which is hungry. I'm definitely hungry after filming this video.
I
Are you?
want French toast.
French toast
I love it.
with what kind of syrup?
Maple syrup
From where?
from Canada.
There you go. I trained him well. So how would you say hungry in American English?
Hungry.
Hungry. And in British English?
Peckish.
Peckish.
Peckish, like a bird pecking.
Uh,
Woodpecker.
yeah.
How much wood could a woodpeck peck if a woodpeck could peck wood? All right, students, we're done for today. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Thank you, Francisco, for being my special guest again.
You are very welcome. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much. And thank you,
And
Mr. Bean, of course. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule.
He came in his yellow Mini.
And his little yellow car from the movies.
I saw him park it right there.
Oh my goodness, I love that car. Anyways, if you would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to
Like,
subscribe and
turn on notifications.
we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Mwah!